Do you often misplace your phone or burn food because you forgot it was in the oven? Perhaps you've missed yet again a grandchild's birthday or a bill that was overdue. Memory is important. It is a network of elements that connects together to recall pieces of information. But whether it is because of age or disease, it is estimated that 40% of adults aged over 65 experience memory impairment. Thankfully, you can prevent your memory abilities from weakening, but to do so, it is important to understand how the brain stores memories. The brain is a complex organ that hides plenty of secrets, but when it comes to memories, there are patterns that provide important information on how they are stored and how they can be organized. So don't go anywhere and keep watching, because in this video, we're going to break down the different types of memory and how you can control their organization, and answer the ultimate question: how does the brain store memory? But before we get started, can you do us a favor and like this video? Ring the bell for future notifications and make sure you subscribe to Brain Health Smarts for more videos. Plus, stick around to find out how you can get a free gift. And now, let's understand how your brain stores memory by answering the question: what is memory? Memory is both a thought and a process. A memory is an information from the past that is being recalled by the brain. Memory in general is a process that is used to form, preserve, and retrieve this information. To form a new memory, it is believed that our brain needs to associate information with a visual cue. This is because as humans, we are incredibly visual. For example, as children, we learn through pictures, and when we dream, we visualize stories. Well, imagery provides our brain with the encoding cues it needs to start storing information. Researchers have observed that memory forms when the connection between neurons are stimulated, strengthened, or expanded within the brain. More studies have also pointed out that visualization can increase and modify the activation patterns of neurons. When our brain forms a new memory, the information is retained only for a few seconds. However, certain memories can last much longer, such as weeks, months, and even decades. So what makes memory storage so variable? Well, it comes down to how your brain categorizes memories. Let's take a look at what this implies by breaking down the different types of memory. Philosophers proposed a theory that our memory is segmented in three ways: sensory, short-term, and long-term. Sensory memory is the earliest stage of memory formation. It focuses on the information that you can recall for a brief second, for example, the color of a car passing you by. If your brain decides to focus on this memory a little longer than a few seconds, then the information will move on to becoming a short-term memory. Short-term memory is our active memory. It's what you are currently aware of or thinking about. Within psychology, this is referred to as the conscious mind. For example, when you read a book, your brain stores its information in the short-term memory. However, it is impossible to remember every single thing you read. And that is because most of your short-term memories are kept for 20 to 30 seconds. Interestingly, experts suggest that we can only have up to 9 short-term memories at a time. To remember short-term memories, you have to give the information more attention and repetition in order to move it into your long-term memory. Long-term memory is referred to by psychology as the unconscious mind. It is the information that is encoded deep within, outside of your awareness, and that can be used when needed. For example, long-term memory is used instinctively when driving a manual car or riding a bike. The information that has left an impression or has been repeated many times, and as a result is ingrained in the long-term memory. By understanding the way your brain categorizes memories, it becomes easier to exercise control over how to store and retrieve them. But before we break down how you can organize your memories, are you ready for a free gift? Discover the foods that increase the risk of mental health disorders and the ones that boost memory, enhance mental focus, and ease depression by downloading your free copy of Brain Food Secrets, the 15 worst and best foods for your brain. Claim your free gift by clicking the link in the description below. And now let's go back to your brain and understand how you can control the way your memories are organized. We now know that memory is a process that forms, stores, and retrieves information, and the way information can move through these steps will depend on what category is applied to it. But as you're starting to see, you somewhat control whether the information is categorized as sensory, short-term, or long-term. This is done primarily through visualization and repetition. This system helps you form and store information, but what do you need to do to retrieve it? It has to do with memory organization, or the semantic network model. This model suggests that memories need certain triggers to be activated. For example, a scent, place, or date can be a powerful trigger that draws a memory into consciousness. A study has observed that scent can help trigger memories in people with Alzheimer's disease. But you don't have to just rely on specific triggers to retrieve memories. The brain assists you unconsciously too, especially when using long-term memory to make decisions, interact with others, and solve problems. Overall, there are specific patterns in which the brain stores memory, and as it turns out, you have more control over your memories than you may think. Memories and the way they are stored will vary on their visualization, repetition, and categories, and there are several ways, including triggers, that can help you organize and recall your memories. And now we want to hear from you. What are your burning questions when it comes to the brain and memory? Share them in the comments below. And before you go, remember to like this video, subscribe, and hit the alert bell to stay up to date with us. Plus, don't forget to download your free gift by clicking the link in the description below. Thanks for watching. We hope you have a brain-boosting day.